My name is Manusos and I help millionaires outwork the average person. Your bank account, body, and happiness are directly tied to your ability to work. Everyone is constantly competing against each other to have the highest output, and winner takes all. And there is a smart group of private millionaires leveraging a little-known strategy to outwork their competition and make tons of money without working 16-hour days, abusing stimulants, or sacrificing health. Because that strategy allows them to bypass distractions, shiny objects, destroy procrastination, and remain laser focused on their work to get an insane amount of work done in as little time as possible. And as the co-founder of Microsoft once said, I choose a lazy person to do a hard job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it. Because it doesn't matter how many hours you work in a day, but how much work you get done. And just by watching this video alone, you will gain a competitive advantage because anyone who uses this method will be able to get more work done and be more productive every single day. You need to unlock something called flow state, the state of mind where ideas flow effortlessly, problem solving is at its peak, and you can remain laser focused on your task without even blinking. And the best way to access this mental state in which work feels like a video game is with something called the flow state formula. The flow state formula is a formula made up of 3 key rules. Rule number 1 of implementing the flow state formula is the circadian flow. You see, your ability to enter flow state, or in other words, your ability to access high levels of focus and productivity, is based on what neurochemicals or hormones your brain produces at what times of the day. When you wake up in the morning, your brain needs to produce cortisol, which will increase your energy and alertness, but it will also program the production of melatonin later that night, which is absolutely crucial for your sleep and wake cycle. Then towards the evening, about 1 to 2 hours before you go to bed, your brain needs to produce melatonin, which will make you feel sleepy and will allow you to get high quality sleep so that you wake up feeling energized the next day. But it's not just these 2 hormones your brain produces. A small structure in your brain called SCN controls how much dopamine, adrenaline, and endorphins you will produce, your memory, and most importantly, how easy you can access flow state. What most people do is they depend on coffee and willpower to get things done, even if they feel tired. And that leaves them chronically tired, stressed, and unmotivated. The thing is, you can work a lot even if you're tired and foggy, but the decisions you'll make and the quality of your work won't be that good. But if you want to make sure your brain is in the most optimal state possible to complete hard work every single day without having to use brute force and enough caffeine to kill a bull, what you need to do is to control that part of the brain, the SCN, that's responsible for scheduling the production of all of those neurochemicals and hormones. If you do control the SCN, you will be able to trick your brain into producing the chemicals that will make you sharp and focused so that you can effortlessly enter flow state. Now, the way you control the SCN is by A. Having a fixed bedtime and wake up time for 9 out of 10 days. B. Viewing the sunrise and sunset daily. C. Increasing your heart rate and body temperature as soon as you wake up in the morning with things like exercise, again, sunlight or cold showers. And D. Staying away from bright overhead lights in the last 2 to 3 hours of the day. That way, by doing these 4 things, your SCN is able to know precisely when to produce cortisol, adrenaline, and dopamine so that when you start working in the morning, you're able to be as focused and alert as possible. But at this point, you have to avoid one of the most common mistakes people do that quite literally ruins their focus. This one thing, however, is what the most productive people like William Shakespeare, Charles Darwin, Bill Gates, and Thomas Edison all have in common. They all had a dedicated place that allowed them to unlock insane focus, creativity, and solve huge problems. This is called neuro workspace. You see, your brain is an associative machine. Using its natural survival mechanisms, it's able to associate particular places with feelings or behaviors, and vice versa. The mechanism we're talking about here is called neuroplasticity. And simply said, it's your brain's ability to create and change habits based off of experience. Now, the reason most people struggle to focus is because they use their office to eat, play games, sleep, socialize, and work. This is a problem because it tricks your brain to start associating your workspace with all these non-work related behaviors, which will make entering flow state almost impossible. And so the rule that you need to follow to achieve effortless and seamless focus is to set a rule for yourself to simply only use your workspace for focused work. But there is a powerful strategy to make your brain extremely engaged with hard work. And it's the strategy casinos have used for centuries, all the way back since ancient Rome, to take people's money. It works 100% of the time because it presses on your brain's most intimate reward mechanism, dopamine, and it will make every hard task easier. This strategy is called random intermittent reward timing. As mentioned many times by neuroscientists like Andrew Huberman, this strategy is the holy grail of dopamine management for success. Every time you succeed in reaching a milestone and you celebrate that win, you will get a very intense dopamine high. Your brain will then associate the win with the pleasure feeling, but not the effort you went through to win. But the world's top performers trick their brain to associate the effort with pleasure instead of the win. And the best way to do this is to not celebrate your wins for 80 to 90% of the time. And when you celebrate your wins, it needs to be random. For example, let's say you sign a big client and you're excited, but you don't tell your friends. You go on with your day and you pretend it never happened. Think about playing roulette in the casino. You bet your money on red, you lose, and you keep playing until eventually you win. The key? When you win, you didn't expect that. And this is how the casinos make billions of dollars, because they hook your dopamine receptors using the random intermittent reward strategy. In the exact same way, when you don't celebrate most of your wins and then at random you celebrate one win, you will be able to sustain high levels of motivation for long periods of time without burning out. But there's another chemical that's circulating in your body that literally determines whether you'll feel fearful, tired, and unproductive, or whether you'll feel confident, sharp, and be able to make hard work feel effortless. And today, most of the world's largest companies are spending trillions of dollars to make you use products that will deplete this chemical from your body. And there's a specific protocol I've used to help hundreds of high-level entrepreneurs like Jordan Platten, Thomas Gannett, and Matt Shields to help them maximize their potential and make more money while working less by boosting this very important chemical in their body. So if you want similar results, check out this video here on the screen where I show you what this protocol is and how you can use it too so that you can maximize your work output and productivity.